Hi everybody, Dr. Ben here, the LA chiropractor. I am just chilling in the front of the house waiting for the kids to get home. One of the things I came across today was another 23-year-old with fibromyalgia, and she had tons of health issues, symptoms, pains, have gone from doctor to doctor looking for answers. And recently she's been admitted to UCLA for pain management. And she was almost in tears when she told me the doctor, within 2 minutes, never examining her, never looking at her, already put her on medication. She came back a month later and the doctor wanted to triple the intensity. And she's complaining about dizziness, and beautiful 23-year-old should be enjoying life, and she's suffering. And one of the reasons she came in because of a friend of hers had complained of back pain, came to me, got much better, and referred her in. Now, she didn't really come in for fibromyalgia, but the more I asked questions, the more we got into this whole checklist of problems she had marked on my paperwork. And it's really weird to find a 23-year-old with fibromyalgia. And I got my own theories. I truly believe fibromyalgia is a symptom given to people when the traditional medical model cannot find an answer. It's like almost an scapegoat. And not only can they not find the answer, they don't want to look for the answer, so they just want to put people on medication and give them drugs and tell them really to deal with it. So I had to answer. I like to find the problems. I like the forensics of finding health issues. And so I continued to ask her questions. But what I really went to right away was, did you ever have a fall, or it's gonna seem kind of weird, but did your parents drop you, or did you fall off a couch or fall off a bed when you were an infant? And the reason why I asked that was her symptoms initially started when she was 16. And I know the body needs about 5 to 10 years to muster up symptoms, especially on somebody that young. And she's like, nope, never been dropped, never done. I'm like, did you ever had a fall in softball? She was in softball. Did anybody run into you? Did you ever get thrown off a horse? I go through everything. Fall off a balcony, fall off a bike, rollerblade, snowboard. I must have about 40 questions because people can't remember. And I go in and I start doing my examination, and I look to see where her subluxations are. She definitely had a cervical subluxation, C1, C2, which literally shuts off the flow between your brain and your body. And C1, C2 is right here. And I continued, and midway during my examination, she said, I found it. I'm like, found what? I remember in 4th grade, it was probably around, I'm not sure, I think 9, 10 years old, 4th grade, pretending to trip with my friends. I was doing something goofy, but I actually fell forward, knocked my head, and passed out. Woke up in the nurse's office. And from that point in, she started to connect the dots. It was a concussion. Everything she did on her left-hand side gave her problems. She was dizzier when she turned to the left. All of the pain was to the left. Her eye and her face were droopier on the left. And when I did my neurological testing, I noticed that everything she did, just looking to the left, was causing her discomfort and pain. She almost again broke down in tears, and this one is, why hasn't anybody ever asked this question? And I'm like, that's a good question. So we continued our exam and we finished the process. We found out some more evidence while we were doing the physical exam that led me back into a left-sided post-concussion syndrome, and how everything on her was failing on her left, and how every doctor that's examined her has found nothing wrong with her. Yet at 23, she's on some of the heaviest medications and opioids you would believe. Makes her sick. And I want to thank her friends, which I will tomorrow personally, that have shared the information which we have in our office with her. And my goal is to keep her off those meds. My goal is to keep her off those unnecessary drugs that, unfortunately, these medical doctors have no idea what they're doing, and just putting young person after young person on a lot of unnecessary medication. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that actually have a plan. I'm just talking about the ones that don't even examine you, and within 5 minutes you're on 3 different meds. And if that doesn't work in a month, you come back, I'll put you on another, or I'll make it stronger. And at 20 years of practice, I've heard this endlessly. So I want to share that thought with you today. I want to share this conversation about how chiropractic and how, true functional neurology can really get to the root of the problem. And I'm really excited to take on this new client and new patient. She was really happy. She was, for the first time in 6 years, she found that somebody has an answer. She sees the common denominator. And I'm excited. I'm excited to take this challenge on. I'll fill you guys in on another patient. His name is Jay. Not that's his name, but first initial is J. I'll fill you in on him. A very young man. I don't think he's 30. Might be 30. Already diagnosed with Parkinson's. With no history, no family history of Parkinson's. Until I asked the question again, have you ever had a concussion? Sure enough, got sucker punched in the head when he was 15 years old, knocked him out. And I'm not sure if he said a skateboarding or a snowboarding accident, which gave him another severe concussion. I'm truly starting to believe, with all this functional neurology, that almost everything is coming back to the brain. And we're going to find some answers. Thanks for joining me. If you got any comments, go ahead and put them below, and I'll talk to you guys later.